Hello everybody and welcome. Today we have one of the most anticipated matches in the National Cup. China versus Russia. And what makes this match special is because China and Russia are one of the most anticipated teams, one of the favorite teams to win in this tournament. My personal tops would be for the tournament. My personal predictions would be Russia and Ukraine and China being the top competitors. It will be between the three. I'm not gonna say who's better than the other, but let's just those are the top three. So this means this big threes matches are going to be important. So let's first take a look at our composition. On the Chinese side, we have the Leonidas pikes, Zhuge Liang repeating crossbows. We have Cao Cao glaives, an interesting choice. Miltiades spears, always a classic. Swords Guan Yu, also a good, interesting choice. And by interesting, I don't mean like bad or anything, it's just different than usual. These are all very viable units. Foxes, Vercingetorix. We've got Caesar with medium infantry as usual, and Heavy Sulla. On the Russian side, we have Heavy Sulla, that's pretty much a staple, Leonidas spears with pikes, we've got Caesar medium infantry, we've got repeating crossbows, Zhuge Liang as well, but we also have Tess with Kanane archers, so Russian team has the range superiority, and Panrigas on the elephants with, Hannibal. We've got another Sulla infantry, and we've got Hannibal's spears. Okay, very interesting, very viable choices. So let's see how it plays out. I am predicting that the Russian team is going to be banking on their rank superiority and is going to be going for the kills. They will be contesting a lot of points using their elephants. So let's speed things up and see how it goes. Okay, we've got the Chinese infantry quickly capturing the hill, and the Russian infantry pushing towards the tall grass over here. Chinese infantry is being shot at. Elephant is unable to capture division flag. I'm surprised that it took them so long to get there. Like the Russian team pretty much abandoned this position. I don't think there's any good reason. It's a very good position to fight. But, like, constant retreat also gives them the ability to shoot for much longer. Let's see where they're... Oh! Okay. I see what they were doing. Okay, so what is happening here is the Russian team is defending on Alpha. Their goal is not to push to Delta, their goal is to push to Echo. With the long grass covering them, they have an advantageous attacking area, able to surround Echo and attack very decisively. Right now, these infantry are pretty much as good as dead. Got Capatella surrounding these infantry and himself getting surrounded, but Fiery Wing is not pulling his infantry here to rout it, but at this point I don't see these infantry winning much. Now the goal here for the Russian team is to rout these units as fast as possible so that the reinforcements will unable to support the Echo. Yep, we have the pikes quickly dispatching the infantry, and the infantry being surrounded right here. Gotta flank that unit. And then lastly flanking this one. Two flanks and routed. And now they're capturing Echo. This is a very methodical capture. This is a perfect example of just a quick attack, quick capture. And the Zhuge Liang crossbows just healing up. They don't need to fire here. They will just cause more friendly fire than they would do damage. So instead, they could have been firing over here, but they could also be running around and healing people. Echo is captured. This gives the point advantage to the Russian team. And the point Alpha is not even being contested. Every second that it remains this way, the Russian team will be pulling ahead. Now we see an interesting move here. The Chinese team is trying to attack here, but this unit is just completely just not even being engaged. Are they trying to route it? I know he has determination, but you still would want to engage that, so that as soon as it expires, they'll be able to... okay, they're just rushing into the point. Okay, one thing I like that the Russians did is that they left a very substantial defensive force, and they also, as soon as they captured Echo, their forces that were covering the assault are now collapsing onto Charlie. Very good idea. Very good move. We've got very good defending units on over at Echo. Very methodical from the Russian team. They have it all planned out. And now with the collapse on Charlie, the Chinese team is just getting pushed out. And with that, they have only one other point to take. And looks like they're going for a complete victory. With routing of this unit, they will be able to contest Delta and will be able to capture 5 points, and at that point it will be very difficult to recover from that. So the Chinese team is winning on the point Alpha, but they're losing the ranged battle. So the Elephant is contesting the point over here. Very effective use of the Elephant, of course. Yep, the crossbows are naturally making quick work of that Elephant. Could have been better, could have been worse. Pike Phalanx, Pendergast is just running around the point contesting it. Those crossbowmen need to be doing a better... It was a great idea to pick Kanane archers to zone out the enemy crossbows, which are one of the two units that can deal with the elephants. The problem is, the pikemen, while they can indeed do tremendous damage to elephants can just keep running around. Sure, they've been currently pushed out of the point. Now he's just gonna try to move a little bit, taking some damage and contesting the point just for a few seconds. Oh, would you look at that? Russian team, now that they took Charlie, they're just taking Delta. Okay, you can try to take Alpha. We're just gonna take you at Delta. As soon as they neutralize it, the point A will be locked, so the Russian team just needs to contest this just a few more seconds for them to win point Delta, and Russian team would be getting a crushing victory. It's a 4.5 points a second. Very methodical, very well planned. Clearly the Russian team trained together a lot. And like they're just very methodically disassembling the Chinese team. And the Chinese team, they're just trickling in. They're not attacking it together. So this results in them just getting routed back to back. So like here, this unit is just not routing. Just nope, I'm just not gonna route. Here we see the problem with the flanking system in the game. This unit should have had routed a long time ago. This bought the Chinese team long enough time to respawn and capture, push back the Russian team from the Delta point. Let's take a look at the score. Yep, the Russian team is 2-1. I'm not seeing much hope for the Chinese team on this one. But yeah, this was won from the very beginning. Right now it will be very difficult for the Chinese team to turn around. Not only do they need to have a strong defense on Delta, because now all the 10 players, only they have to attack this one point, but also they need to be contesting other points. It will be very difficult. It will be quite difficult. Like at this point, I think all they can do is get together and scout all the capture points. So that's what they're doing. They scouted Echo and they're pushing on Echo. Very smart idea. We have a very nice engagement in here. Not gonna lie, the fact that this is 8v8 is making it a lot easier to commentate and a lot easier for us to enjoy without having to be afraid that we're losing some piece of the action. Look at this very organized battle line. Archers, the ranged units are, you know, being kept behind the lines. This unit could have been used to zone them out. But yeah, there's one unit. One thing I like what they're doing is that they're separating their units so that the buffs are going everywhere. The Way of the Wind is healing up the units that are in melee. So you can see 25, 26%, 27% health. This heal is actually very important, especially if you're on the offensive, because you have no other way to heal other than Hasdrubal or Zhuge Liang. So he is definitely now a very viable commander, almost a mandatory commander to have in the current meta. And now we have 4 points have been captured by the Russian team. The Chinese team managed to capture Echo. If they only had the ability to scout, they don't have any cavalry. So they have no ability to scout, they have no idea to find what's going on Charlie. They were banking all on that initial push. Oh, what do we see here? Bravo! Bravo! They found Bravo undefended and now establishing a defensive perimeter around Bravo. You know, they're trying their best. You know, that's pretty much all they could do. Okay, he is baiting the pikes. Very smart move. I should be using that as an infantry. Bait the pikes to be dropped and then force them to, you know, slowly approach and buy enough time for you to capture the point. Not gonna lie, that's smart. Smart. Yep, I would use that. I would certainly use that. I think this pikeman should have been pushing forward, but we'll see that they captured a point. Bravo! And very nicely. Like, yeah, this might not be. I mean, this is currently just very. The Russian team has pushed very far ahead. One thing that I didn't like that they're doing, they're taking this long road. Instead, they could have just teleported back here and could have taken this short road instead. Now, yeah, they're getting the flanks and all that, but I don't think it's really worth it in this case. They're sending one unit to the spawn point, you know, in case they try to establish a supply line to stop units from healing and spawning and reinforcing Bravo. Now, of course, with the entire Russian team being over there, they left some defensive forces at Delta. Chinese team is probing, like, they pretty much are abandoning Bravo because the entire team has descended onto Bravo. But instead, they're pushing on Charlie, Delta, you know. Had the point capacity has been higher and had they not been beaten so hard at the very beginning, this could have been, this could have had turned around, quite frankly. Yep, and now we have these units trying to retreat. They will probably teleport back to base. Yep, Mike Pompeo as Caesar Infantry has split his infantries 2 for 1. That is, this way he is able to provide Veni permanently in one flank, which is Charlie, and then providing temporary support on another flank, which is Bravo. Yep, with the points being captured, the point gain difference has been minimized. But with the Russians capturing Bravo, their advantage is gonna get ahead once again. But yes, in the last moment we have seen some good moves. Oh, there is one mistake that the Chinese team did that the Russians are taking advantage of, which is leaving Echo undefended. After capturing Bravo, the fast-moving elephants went into Echo, and now they're capturing it, so that will give all the 5 points to the Russian team, and that's pretty much a GG. This was a GG a few minutes ago, to be honest. Yep, 5.7 gain. Chinese team captures Delta, takes back Delta. But yeah, it's just coordination of the Russian team was just a lot better than the Chinese team. I also have seen a few individual outplays, such as we had here, we had with the pikes, we had with the ranged. The range advantage is just tremendous. And so, this match goes to the Russian team, and I'll see you at the next match.